Today we're doing Lesson 8, Unit Conversions. The relationship between commonly used customary and metric units are shown on a metric customary unit conversion sheet provided. That's this sheet that you're looking at here, and if you flip it over as well, you can see that there's examples on the back. This is the sheet that we're going to be referring to throughout the lesson. So a unit ratio is one in which the denominator is 1 unit. Using the conversion sheet, fill out the correct numerical value in the units below. So I'm going to look at inches and foot. And if I go right here, I can see that I have inches and foot. And it tells me that for 12 inches, you have 1 foot. So then we're going to go to ounces and pounds, and I'm going to keep going until I find my ounces and my pounds. And once you find that, you're going to see that 16 ounces is equivalent to 1 pound. And then you're going to have centimeter and meter. You're going to go over here to centimeter and meter. And you can see that 1 meter equals 100 centimeters. So now we're going to look at the different steps in converting between the units. Step 1, you're going to set up a blank proportion. Step 2, identify the 2 units that are being converted in the problem. Step 3, label the top row of the proportion with one of those units and the bottom row with the other. Step 4, using the unit conversion sheet to find the conversion between the 2 units in the problem. This is your unit ratio. Step 5, fill in the left column in with the unit ratio. For example, if you're converting feet to yards, you would use either 3 feet over 1 yard or 1 yard over 3 feet. Step 6, the second column should contain the end result. One of the 2 spots should contain any unknown variable. This is what we're solving for. And step 7, solve the proportion. So in problem number 1, it says that a football field is 100 yards. And the question is, how many feet is that? So I know that I need to go ahead and label. I'm identifying feet and yards are my 2 units. And I'm going to go to my paper here, my conversion chart, and I want to find feet and yards. I'm going to highlight it for you. And that tells you the conversion, that there's 1 yard for every 3 feet. So I'm going to go into my paper here, and I'm going to say that there is 1 yard for every 3 feet. In the problem, it tells me that we have 100 yards. So I would put 100 here to go with my label, and we want to know how many feet is that. So I go ahead and I set up my proportion, and I cross multiply the numbers in the diagonal. So 100 times 3 equals 300. I divide by 1. X equals 300. And I look back at what my label is going to be, and that would be 300 feet. So for my second problem, I need to convert 34 quarts to gallons. So I know that my labels that I'm going to use are quarts and gallons. I'm going to go ahead and look at my chart, and I'm going to try to find the quarts and the gallons. When I find quarts and gallons, I'm going to go ahead and highlight that so we can really focus on that one. It tells me that 1 gallon equals 4 quarts. So if I get my sheet back, I can say that 1 gallon equals 4 quarts. And you want to convert 34 quarts into gallons. So I have 34 quarts. How many gallons is that? So I'm going to cross multiply, and you have 34 times 1 equals 34. And I'm going to divide that by 4, And when I go ahead and divide 34 by 4, I get 8.5. And I know that my label is gallons, so I'm going to say 8.5 gallons. All right. Let's flip it over. And we're going to do number 3. It says convert 128 cups to fluid ounces. So I know that I'm looking to compare fluid ounces and cups. So I'm going to go ahead and find fluid ounces and cups on here, which would be located right there. So now that I have it, I'm going to plug in the information that I know. I know that I need to convert 128 cups and find, well, how many fluid ounces is that going to be? I don't know, but I do know that 1 cup equals 8 fluid ounces, and then I'm going to go ahead and solve. I'm going to say 128 times 8 gives me 1,024. I'm going to divide that by 1, and that would give me 1,024 fluid ounces in 128 cups. So now we go to number 4, and we need to figure out convert blank inches into yards. So we're going to say 340 inches into blank yards. I know that I'm comparing my inches and my yards. So I'm going to go to my chart, and you need to find inches and yards. And here we have 1 yard equals 36 inches. So if I take my paper, sorry guys, and I put in that I know 340 yards so far, and I'm trying to convert that to yards, so I don't know what that is yet. But I know that from my chart, 36 inches equals 1 yard. Now I'm going to go ahead and multiply them across. I'm going to say 340 times 1 equals 340. Because I have my 2 numbers there. I'm going to look at the other numbers, and 36 is with my variable. I'm going to say 340 divided by 36 is 9.4444, and I'm going to go ahead and round it and just say 9.4 yards. All right, so now we go to our next one. We're going to convert 10,560 feet to miles. So I know that I am comparing feet and miles. And the information that I already know is that I have 10,560 feet. So now I need to go to my conversion chart, and I need to find where does it talk about feet and miles. So here we have feet and miles. I'm going to take that information, I'm going to go ahead and plug it into my chart. I know that 5,280 feet give me 1 mile. I'm going to go ahead and put my X there because that's what I'm solving for. And I'm going to say 10,560 times 1 equals 10,560. And I'm going to divide it by the number that is in the diagonal with the X. And that is 5,280. And you're going to go ahead and plug that into your calculator. And when you divide those numbers, you get 2. So X equals 2 miles. You can go ahead, and you guys are going to do the you try. You're going to convert 5,000 meters to kilometers. So you're going to use this part of your chart over here. And then you are going to convert 88 ounces to pounds. And you're going to have to find where does it talk about ounces and pounds, and that's weight. So you're going to go down here and figure it out with your weight.